11th NBA season, still just one playoff appearance. Meanwhile, Jason Kidd now at the podium. Let's hear what he has to say after the win.
What were you guys able to do that in the second quarter in order to take control of this game?
I think when you look at the defense, being able to limit them to one tough shot, and then I thought the pace there we had carryover from the first quarter was to keep it high, and I thought B. Will and Exum, those guys who pushed the ball for us tonight, did a really good job of attacking after the miss. And so, again, the ball, everybody was touching the ball. The pace was high, but the defense, led for us to, get out there and score 44 points and hold them to 19.
Tell us about the shot making from Klay Thompson in that quarter.
Yeah, I think he got going. Being able to set screens with AD and him, and then also I thought the relationship between Klay and D-Live was at a high. They were channel 2-ing him, and so he was being able to get the ball to D-Live, and I thought D-Live did a great job of playmaking. He didn't he was unselfish. He didn't look to score. He looked weak and got guys wide open shots.
Jason, was there anything that you saw in the scouting report about the Kings' deficiency, inability to defend the three at times, and you guys kind of look forward to that and taking advantage of that?
Well, some will say we're not a three-point shooting team because we're big, and so I thought just the pace of being able to, the ball touch the paint for us to get downhill created a lot of wide open shots. I thought early on the first couple of possessions of Najee in the corner, wide open, being able to, make the extra pass. And even we talk about if we don't make them, those are all the right plays, and that we trust that we're going to knock them down as the game goes on. And I thought the guys stayed to the game plan for 48 minutes and did it at a high level.
Going back to Klay, throughout the season, you guys talked about needing Klay at this moment when you guys are in the postseason, especially with his shot-making ability, for him to kind of rise to the occasion, especially after we mentioned last year's playing game in Sacramento. Just how did he overcome what he went through last season to have a game like he did today?
Well, I think the big thing is, he's a champion. We talked about it before. Try to get him some shots early. I thought he had great looks that didn't go down, but he continued to keep playing and continue to make plays for others. And when you do that, good things happen. And I thought him being able to go in that second quarter with AD setting screens and find him, he had great rhythm looks, and he helped build that lead. But he's a pro. As I said before the game, we believe that he's going to make the shots tonight, and he did.
Coach, everyone knows that. Coach, everyone knows that Anthony Davis is a great player. But what kind of statement did he make as a leader tonight?
Yeah, I think just his character. He's a leader. He's won it. We've said this over and over. He's won at every level. I've been with him in a play-in game situation, and so he had some good looks there that just didn't go down for him. But again, the positivity of him believing in his teammates and putting his teammates in a position to be successful was at a high, and they were able to benefit from that. But then, again, defensively, being able to change shots, being able to rebound was huge for us. And so he's our leader, him and Klay. We're going to lean on those guys as we go to Memphis.
What have you mentioned Lively's chemistry with Klay. What have you thought about Lively as he's kind of steadily ramping up after coming back from a long absence?
Yeah, I think when you're out that long, you're going to be rusty. But before that, him and Klay did have a great relationship, being able to play the two-man game. And so, and Klay trusts him. And so, again, tonight, with them being able to take the ball out of his hands, he trusted that D-Live was going to make plays.
What can you say about Brandon Williams overcoming that injury he had against Memphis to get 17 points in 18 minutes tonight?
Yeah, he texted me today and said there's no way that he was going to miss this game. So it was good to get that text this afternoon after shoot-around. So for him, he's been doing it for us here since he's been playing. His speed, his ability to play make, but also to be able to score. He made some big threes, but also just being able to handle and finding the open guy. I thought he did that at a high level for us tonight. When you talk about having 29 assists, and 10 turnovers, that's huge for us on the road.
All right, Zach LaVine, he scored 20 points in the loss tonight. Let's listen to what he had to say about the game.
Zach, it looked like you guys never really got in a flow. What did you see from the opening tip of this game where you guys just really didn't have it?
I mean, I think the first quarter everybody came out the right way. You know, I don't think there was any lackadaisical movements or anything, but you know, they did a good job of making us play in the half court. We didn't get any stops, and then from the second quarter on, we were just trying to fight back. Guys made big plays, obviously, and then you know, just fighting and clawing back, trying to just get it back into the game, trying to get it to 10 points, and it just didn't happen.
That second quarter, that 44-19 difference there. Obviously, they got going. Defense stepped up. I mean, how much was that more on them versus what you guys were doing?
Yeah, I mean, they were making shots. We just kept taking, you know, we were taking the ball out the basket. It was hard for us to get into our sets. We get, you know, play fast. So we were trying to talk about playing fast versus them getting fast break points. You know, and they were just scoring, obviously getting to the line. And, you know, that's what happens when, you know, you don't end up getting stops.
And if you can maybe, I know you probably didn't picture yourself sitting in this position, but as you just kind of look at this whole thing, just what kind of goes through your mind as you kind of step into the offseason? Obviously, it's fresh.
I mean, every year there's only one team that goes happy. Obviously, we all want to, you know, continue to play. It's don't hurt going home, you know, watching teams. So digest it, you know, let it hurt, and then obviously try to figure out how we can put ourselves in a better position to not, you know, be in a, you know, a win or lose, you know, situation.
Zach, on top of those 10 turnovers that you guys had, they made 8 of 12 shots from behind the arc, and a few of those was just completely wide open. What happened there? Where those players, especially Brandon Williams?
I think it's just breakdowns. You know, you have a lot of focus obviously on Anthony Davis, who, you know, can create and can score, and then you know, their guys stepped up. Clay made some big time shots. You know, with us trailing, hand in his face. That's what he does. Keon getting in a little bit of foul trouble hurt us, you know, and took a little bit of our defensive pressure away. But, you know, those guys made plays. You got to tip your hat to them, and, you know, their coaching staff on a good game plan.
Hey, Zach, on offense, 18 turnovers. Was that lackadaisical play, or is that just their great defense?
No one tries to turn the ball over, obviously. You know, it just guys trying to make the right play or, you know, trying to get to the hole, get fouled. I think there was a couple times where passes didn't go the right way. I know I had a couple where I was trying to go in there and get fouled or, you know, create something that got tipped or whatever. So, you know, you wish you could have them all back. You wish you could play a perfect game, but we just didn't have enough to win tonight.
Zach, how much with their defense, how much did their size kind of disrupt what you guys wanted to do?
It did in the half court a lot. You know, that's why you wanted to go out and get easy points on the break or, you know, in transition or, you know, making them make a mistake. But, you know, they did such a good job of being able to get back in defense and then us not being able to get as many turnovers and get out and run. So that's what happens. You know, you play stagnant in the half court.
Zach, in your time here, just what has it felt like you guys have lacked or just not had enough of or maybe need going forward?
You know, I think you go into each game